All right. Despite... Fuck, that's super dark, though. We're going to run it. It might be a little dark in the video, but we're going to run it. Despite the dreadlocks and the oregano and the beautiful flowers we're growing back here, the spirituality and all the things we talk about, this one might get me to lose a few subscribers. I'm not nearly as anti-capitalism as anyone in my genre. Hear me out, though. I know the dark side of capitalism, but you know they talk as above, so below. We talk as above, so below. You know, the heavens mirror the physical, and the physical mirrors the archangels. Humans, believe it or not, are natural. We are of the earth. We're born, we eat the earth. We walk on the earth. We are made of the materials of the earth. The calcium in my bones, right? See this dandelion right here? It's got calcium in it. Pulled it up from the soil. I eat this dandelion. My bones grow made of calcium. I am now the earth. I am the earth. The patterns of the earth are in capitalism. Well, Keith, what's your point? This is my point. I used to know 1,000 examples of what I'm about to tell you right now, but I can only think of maybe one or two. 90+% of all the organic material in a rainforest is in 5% of the trees. 90% of the biodiversity on the planet is limited to about 5% of the space of the planet, which is around the equator. The rainforests disproportionately contain far more matter, far more organisms than any other part of the planet. This is why I like looking to nature so much, because I see a news headline or I see something on Instagram and I go, can I verify that out here? Is that happening in the natural world? So you say, oh, all the wealth accumulates in the hands of a few. And I go, all the wealth we'll say wealth as far as captured sunlight, captured CO2 into the tree mass, like the tree trunk or the plant material itself, that the same thing happens in nature. You go to those sequoias, those redwood forests, one tree, those things weigh tens of thousands of pounds. One organism, one tree. You know, that's what's unbelievable. Would you go in the forest and be like, I'm going to fucking chop that redwood? Who the hell does that redwood think he is? One organism taking up all that space? There are a million ants down here. A million ants. That one tree is the same mass as these million ants plus the next million generations after them. You know what I mean? Like, no, that'd be silly. You're not going to cut down the redwood tree because it disproportionately captures more of the sunlight because it's higher, accumulates the most resources in the form of its trunk. You know what I mean? You get my point, right? So again, this video, I'm not saying capitalism is the way. I'm just saying, isn't it interesting that this idea of a disproportionate distribution of wealth exists both in nature and in humans? So why immediately say that's a bad thing? Because I would argue that nature is bad for the same reason. And I'm only giving the definition for why capitalism is bad, and I'm saying, okay, well, the natural world fits that model, fits that definition for quote-unquote bad. But you praise nature. I would say most people that hate on capitalism tend to be more natural people, more people in favor of nature and in favor of being fair to all of the planet's life forms. Again, nature isn't fair to all animals' life forms. I was watching a Nat Geo something on Netflix. I don't know. I was watching elephants walk through the desert, and I saw one baby one die. There was like, oh, the water was just too far this time for the little one. As the little one lay dying in the sand in the scorching Saharan desert, the mother hangs back from the pack. She will mourn her child's loss for a few days, and then she will rejoin the group, sad but hopeful in the continuation of her species. And then it pans to this drone shot. It's just kind of getting that little strafing angle, so it's like, you know what I mean? And it shows the dead baby elephant and the mama elephant crying. Close up on her eyeballs, she's got tears coming out of her eyes. Maybe it was hot, maybe flies got in there, I don't know. It was dramatic. She was like wailing, the trunk was doing the thing. You see the whole pack like 2 miles away from her, and she's just lamenting over the loss of her child in the middle of the Saharan desert. Does that sound fair? I cried. I didn't bawl, but I you know what I mean? That's not fair. And so the question is, all right, is capitalism bad? To answer your question, yes, capitalism's crazy, but the natural world is fucking crazy. Where I'm coming from is when people don't like something, they tend to want to just destroy it and start over. And so they go, capitalism's not working. Like, look how awful the world is. Destroy everything. Just burn it to the ground and start over. Sort of even the playing field. I don't like that you guys have all the power. We'll even the playing field by destroying everything. We'll see how cool your Tesla cars are if we've blown up every bridge in the country. You know what I mean? In other words, what's the point of having a car if you can't drive it? So they want to even the playing field. Chaos, anarchy. And I just don't think that, again, I guess to me the question should be, how can we make our system, instead of destroying the paradigm, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, maybe we can alter what we already have since it's already in place, since the infrastructure is there, and just update it. You know what I mean? There's Windows 4 through 50. You know what I mean? They just keep improving the system. But Windows, it wouldn't make any sense to just throw the computer off a 10-story building, watch it smash to pieces on the ground, and go, we're going to build a whole new computer. Like, you can do that, but you do that while maintaining the system so that, you know, when you're ready to depart, you know, if you want to make some huge change, you can do that. But it makes no sense to destroy something and just so everything can be brought to ground zero, because then there's no human progress. And then the same sort of manipulation and corruption just happens. It grows again because it's the same seed, right? You keep planting an apple seed, you're going to get a fucking apple. I mean, but you got to hybridize the apple. You got to cross the apple with more in favor of characteristics from that apple. That apple grows well in the winter. All right, well, we'll keep everything else that makes the apple great, but we'll cross it with that apple that does great in the winter. All right, a couple seasons later, you now have an apple with all your favorite things, but it can tolerate 20-degree weather. So you don't starve in the winter or something or whatever. Or you just have tastier fruit year round. I don't fucking know. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom all the time. Point being, in my humble opinion, I would say capitalism is far closer to the natural world than most others. Certainly socialism. Like, there's no even distribution of resources in a forest when one tree is the equivalent to 8 million different organisms on the floor. You know what I mean? The disproportionate. Yeah, so there you have it. Oh my God, was this recording? Praise job, we were recording. My name's Keith, you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to probably switch spots. It's getting dark over here. And see you in the next video. Thanks for being here. Leave a like the video if you liked it, or comment. Let me know your thoughts on it. I mean, there's a lot of people. I got another video on how to tell you that I think we should burn oil, and maybe I'll save that for part 2. So if you want me to make the video on why your boy Keith is in favor of burning oil and coal, hit me up. Tell me to make tell me to make part 2, and I'll do that. Until next time, enjoy yourselves out there.